In aviation, grooming standards are the first class tickets to professionalism, ensuring a smooth journey to success with every flight. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Dalvinder Kaur from Lovely Professional University. Get ready to dive in today's topic, that is flying high, mastering professional grooming standards in aviation. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the experts of the day. Dr. Parmender Singh, Assistant Professor and Head of Tourism and Airlines at LPU, with a PhD from Jivazi University. Over 10 years of teaching and research experience, authored 20 plus papers and book chapters indexed in Scopus and UGC Care. His interest includes heritage tourism, cultural tourism, tourism education, and technology in tourism. So now I would like to introduce an alumnus here in this webinar, Ms. Divya Haste. She is an alumnus of the School of Hotel Management and Tourism from BSc ATH. She is currently working as a cabin crew in Air India. So I would like to introduce the admission nominee also in this webinar, Mr. Pankaj Vij, Head Department of Types, Division of Admission, LPU. He is having 18 years of experience in multiple domains, including teaching, training, and operations. He is taking up the eligibility, scholarship fee structure, and infrastructure part of the university. Before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone for any questions you can write in the chat box or Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side in between in this webinar. And now I hand over the things to Dr. Parmender Singh, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from him. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this webinar, where we'll be discussing about one of the very important topic, that is the professional grooming, which is required in the aviation industry. I welcome to all my co-panelists for this session, and especially the guest speaker for the day, Ms. Divya. And before I welcome Divya and we begin with her session, so I would like to throw some light on the requirement of this particular webinar. As we all of know that, the tourism and the hospitality aviation industry is a service-based industry. This industry requires so much of dedication related to the services, which is required to create such kind of a brand, such kind of a image for the company, for the organization, so that it could be always remembered as one of the pioneer. Therefore, we need to have certain qualities related to providing the services, and professional grooming is one of such areas. So if we talk about the tourism and hospitality industry again, so it is a kind of industry which is very much based on the intangible aspects. Intangible aspects, as all of us might be knowing, that something which is not physically present and which you cannot touch and see. So we as an industry, we have to create a tangibility out of the intangibility. As the other industries, they are based on the goods and products, from where they can tell the people, the customers, the buyers that, this is our product and this is how we make it, and these are the features of this particular product. But in our industry, we are based on such kind of a things, which is called like services, and it is based on the intangibility aspect, which we cannot, which does not have the physical aspect. We cannot show somebody that this is, our product, that this is our service. So we have to create it. So what we say that in tourism and hospitality industry, we have to create the tangibility out of the intangibility. And for that, we have to depend on certain things to create this tangibility. And this service, this professionalism, particularly the grooming, is one of the area and one of the thing that we can showcase, and through which we can create such kind of an image, such kind of the unique product for ourselves, that in long run or in future, it will be remembered in the minds of the consumers that this company is famous for these kind of a services. And we have so many such examples these days from around the world, where be it any aviation industry, be it any hospitality aviation company or hospitality company or any tourism company, what they are doing, they are coming up with such unique ideas where they are creating such kind of a special, tangibility out of the intangibility. And this is the service-based industry, which requires a lot of passion and a lot of, the personal grooming to provide or to create such kind of the tangibility. So grooming, which is very apt topic for today's discussion, is very important in our industry. Uh, be it anywhere, you have to be in proper grooming, you have to be professionally dressed, professionally behaved, professionally well mannered, so that you can provide a better services to your clients. Keeping this thing in mind, we have selected this topic for today's discussion, which is the professional grooming, especially in the aviation industry. And for that, today we have Ms. Divya, who is working with the aviation industry. Uh, she will be the guest speaker for the day. She will be deliberating about it, and will be having her experience so that we can delve more into the what kind of a grooming aspects are required, what kind of the requisite is there for the aviation industry, personally related to the professional grooming. So with this now, I would request Dalvinda ma'am to please introduce Ms. Divya.
Thank you so much, sir. So now I would request to Ms. Divya Hastir to be on the screen. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much, Miss Kaur. Thank you so much, Dr. Singh, for introducing me so well. I've been honored by LPU for delivering this professional grooming session as a guest. I'm honored. I have been a student of LPU, and I have felt a drastic change in myself after being well groomed from the university for the industry. So I personally welcome all of you to this guest lecture of mine. In case anything goes interrupted, just please let me know. I would seek permission to start my lecture.
Yes, ma'am. You can continue.
Thank you, ma'am. So basically, I would start from the basic things, which is why is this professional session being held? If I talk about grooming, grooming is a basic part of our everyday life. If I talk about everyday life, it starts from our house to being presentable, being professional, towards the outward session, towards the outward section of our society. That is to our jobs, to our social circles, to our everything included in our day-to-day lives. If we drag our attention towards the basic grooming standards in our house only, we often hear our mothers saying that sit like this, do not sit like that, or just be casual in front of everybody else, but just be a bit, a bit groomed in front of the guests, especially. And also, if somebody appears in your house, all of a sudden, what will your reaction? Your reaction be? Your verbal instances, your physical instances would be. So these are the basic things which we learn from our household. And if I talk about the outer world from the household towards the professional section of our society, then it creates a more it creates a image value for us. It talks volumes about us. So in aviation industry especially, I really feel that the looks, the first impression is always the looks. I have always been taught that first impression is the last impression. It is totally fine, but especially in aviation, aviation literally means looks. So even if it is an airline's logo or the tagline or the uniform of the crew or the behavior of the crew, whichever it may be, I really feel that grooming is a very important part. And as sir also mentioned that it helps us build our image, our professionalism, it showcases. So it is definitely the most important part. Being from an aviation background and also from the hospitality and tourism background, I would really feel that if I had not been well groomed in my interviews, in my professional life, if I talk about my university, as we have a dress code in the university, no other section, no other school had any dress codes, but we had. So it literally meant something. it literally meant that we have to be behavioral, we have to be physically outgoing, and we have to be very, very professional in every step we take. So grooming is not just about our image, is not just about our verbal, is not just about physical. It is about transforming your whole self towards a new person, which actually in turn builds your own image, your personality, builds your own position in any kind of industry. And especially in aviation, it builds your outer self. Basics of the grooming, I would like to just share with you all. As you all know, that it already means being presentable in front of everybody. Grooming itself is the presentation. So how well you groom, how well it is to be presentable in front of anyone it be. So it is grooming. I have seen drastic changes in me myself. I was not a fully groomed person. If I talk about my personal experience, I have worked with Indigo Airlines as well for 7 months or so, and then I moved to the cabin crew section in another airline, that is Air India. And I have seen drastic changes in me. I have seen drastic changes in people dealing with me when I was groomed and also when I was not groomed. So I would like to share one instance, my personal instance. I was standing on a in a queue. I mean, I was the queue manager in Indigo Airlines at the airport, and I was a member of a ground staff, and I heard somebody just calling me like, "Oi," like this. It was not at all fine by me, and but when I looked at myself after going to a lavatory or washroom, and I looked at myself, I was like, I'm not that. Maybe I'm not that presentable. Maybe I'm not that well groomed because I had not put my whole makeup. I had not tied back my hair nicely. The next day, I came back with full grooming, with full makeup. It was just the initial days of my joining, and the grooming and full makeup literally changed the experience. Everybody who is greeting me, who is even in my company, or else is a passenger or is a guest to our airline, they were literally treating me to a very different level. They always greet you first. They will always see that she is a person who is outgoing. She's in her full grooming. She is presentable. Her outfit is as per the airlines, and there is no such vulnerability of her being very, very sensitive or emotional person, or being. I mean, it is just hiding your own weaknesses. So when I was not groomed, I was showing my weakness of being a very underconfident girl. But when I was fully groomed, my confidence level and the way everybody else dealt with me, it changed. It literally changed. And from that day onwards, I felt that this is the actual moment I need to realize that grooming is important for anything. If I not talk about the industry or the official purposes, if I talk about a total different thing that is according to the society, our social statuses. If we go to a party, for instance, we are going to a party, would we wear a traditional dress or a dress we would be wearing to a temple, or would we be wearing a uniform? No, I don't think so. I think we will be wearing totally informal, casual, and totally funky dresses towards the parties. We would also remove our, religious symbols if we are wearing any, because we are going to a party. So why not we do it in a professional way? If we are in a uniform of any airline or any hotel or any tourism related company, I really feel that we need to adopt all the procedures, all the grooming standards of the company, and only then we will be able to feel the part, we are the part of the company. And the company is being reflected from us. So I really feel that it is the most important in us. So why grooming? It literally means everything. It means the looks, which are the most important things. The first impression is the looks, and literally the looks are the most important. If I talk about my airline, that is Air India, it has been a flag carrier before this, before the joining of the Tatas, and the grooming standards there were basically the crew used to wear saris. They used to feel very professional while working in saris because they were presenting the name of Air India. India has been a religious and full of diversity land. It is a cultural land which everybody woos, which everybody is wooed around and is dragged towards the attention that she's wearing a sari, so she might be an Indian. It feels so great to wear a sari at times and presenting any airline or any, even if we are presenting our family in a family function. If we are wearing any traditional dress which is related to Indian culture, we feel so honored. Then why not we feel honored while we are wearing a uniform and presenting an airline? Anybody who sees us, even if on board or in the airport facility or in the backhand facility, the vicinity of cabin crew movement control area or anything else, everybody who sees us, they literally tend to feel that this is the feel of Air India. So even if we are talking to them in a polite manner, even if we are very, very groomed and professionally appearing, we are poised, we are positioned, we are our body language is is formal, and our verbal language is very, very authenticated and very assertive, then only we will be able to fit in that zone of the grooming standards. Every airline has different grooming standards, and the basic ones are being formally dressed, number one. Number two, our hair should be very, very properly tied and neat and clean. Number three, the body language. So it is not just about the physical appearance, the body language, the gestures also become a great part of the grooming. If I would like to start about body language, it would take a long session. But then cutting it short, I will really feel that body language is the thing which anybody could notice. It doesn't matter if a person is standing near you or behind you or far from you. The body language is very important. It basically means our gestures. So the gestures of ours are not just being verbal or just being physical. Even if we are twitching our eye, if even if we are raising our eyebrows on anything, any matter is being discussed between anybody, and we are just twitching our eyes, we are just raising our eyebrows, anybody could notice that, because everybody is watching you, everybody is looking for you as a representative of your airline. So especially me, if I'm in a cabin, if I'm serving somebody and somebody is rude to me, I would never say bad about it in front of them, especially in front of them. Because at that point of time, on board an aircraft, several passengers are looking at you. Several guests of yours are looking at you. They could be your future guests. They could have been your past guests who have been traveling with you. They could have been your frequent flyers. So, what would they feel? How has Air India transformed after some time? How has your airline transformed? How has your industry transformed? They would literally feel good if you are assertive, if you are positive in your body gestures, if you are positive in your body language, and if you are positive in everything else which is being presented by you on board or in an airport facility. So it is no further delay that the gestures are very, very important, and the it changes the whole scenario in an airline. Talking about the poise and positioning of us. Basically, poise and positioning is the part of an industry which is totally customer centric. So, being customer centric, being service oriented industry, our aviation, hospitality, and tourism industry is not just about being anywhere, being from if a person is standing outside a hotel, he is welcoming you. The same person should not be standing inside the hotel. He should not be checking you in your hotel rooms. It is about the positioning also. So the person who is presentable more, he is tended to be more positioned than you. Definitely, one day or the other, you will definitely feel that grooming is a part of your positioning as well, where you are being positioned, whether your face, your body structure is being presentable. If you are not presentable, you will not be able to face the other persons, because we are service oriented and we are customer centric. We literally feel that positioning and poise is an important part. So grooming is not just about image building, the body positioning, or the makeups and all. It is basically everything you include, everything from the starting of the airport to the end of the flight, from starting of the hotel parking area to the end of your trip, or whatever it may be. So grooming is of the utmost importance. If I talk about the airlines and different guidelines of them, I have been included in two airlines till now, and I have seen two different, totally different words in grooming standards. So the hair, from varying from the hairstyles to being in a proper formal manner, from being in a full makeup, even if you are unofficially visiting the site. If I'm unofficially visiting an airport, still I need to be in certain way, in a certain grooming standard. So if I talk about my interview, talking about my interview, it was a phenomenal give from my side, because I had traveled all over from my birthplace to New Delhi to give this interview, and several of the instructors were there, several of the personnel from the airline were there, and they were looking at us throughout. They were not just checking our verbal language, they were also physically screening us. So from the time of us entering the vicinity to the time of our interview was being held, till the time we checked out of the vicinity, they literally screened us from head to toe. And that was the major transformation for me, that I need to be professional in no matter what. So when my interview started, I went inside and I saw the reaction from the HRs who were sitting there. They were fine by looking at me. Once they started talking to me, they grew more comfortable. They grew more professional with me. They started asking me the questions which I was able to answer. I was able to answer comfortably. My assertive body language and my uptone was an outstanding area for them. So they also asked me that how do you get your voice so clear? How do you get your hair so done? So I just answered that I have been in this industry from a very short period of time, but still I have learned so much. And also I have been learning this in my university, that your looks are of the utmost importance. So these were the few factors which actually made me a cabin crew in Air India, and also a very assertive body language. It showed up as a very a shining, outshining environment for me. Talking about the grooming standards. So in aviation, especially, our grooming standards are very basic. So uniform is there. Hairstyles, it must be updone. It must be very well groomed. No baby hair should be there. If I talk about males, then the uniform includes mostly the shirt, the pants, the blazer, and the tie or any scarf or anything else. Makeup and nails, about the girls, it should be not that long, unlike the today's trends, which are extremely long nails and extremely showy things. It should not be there. In a professional world, the showy things are of no use. In a professional world, the uniformity is of the utmost importance. The uniformity in you and your colleagues is of the utmost importance. So the nails, the makeup, the uniform, the facial expressions, the way you carry yourself, it is all included in grooming. It is usually different for girls and boys, because being a part of a social barrier, social boundaries, girls are bounded in some different. They are conditioned in certain different areas, and boys are conditioned in certain different areas, and those areas are a bit similar but far apart from each other. I have seen girls cutting off their nails totally and then showcasing as if they are not cared about they do not care about their nails being grown. Or I have seen guys, the boys in our industry, they do not bother about the cleanliness. They do not bother about how they are smelling. So it is of the great it throws a great influence towards the person who is standing next to you or in front of you. I have seen people with horribly smelling armpits. I have seen people with horribly undone hair. I have seen people who are being mistreated because of that, and I have transformed myself into that way, that I will not be a part of that anymore. Earlier I used to think that they are so they what would they think of themselves? They think of themselves as the heroines of this India airline or something. But no, actually they are the face of the airline. From the time you enter the airport to the time you board the aircraft till the time you deplane the aircraft. And also further apart, when the cabin crew walks towards the parking area, there also are the guests who have been or who will be, who are the potential guests of our airline. They could see us and literally judge us from the airline from head to toe, that this is the airline I want to go next because the cabin crew is so professionally groomed. So I really feel that this is the part, and this is the big part. If I talk about basic grooming senses, cleanliness of ourselves, cleanliness of our aura, because if anybody is standing next to us, he should not feel uncomfortable from us. It is of the utmost importance. It is very, very essential for us to maintain our basic personal hygiene. It is very, very important for us to maintain our physical posture. If we are slouched back, if we are just standing casually anywhere, if we are not standing professionally, nobody would be there to ask us for a longer term. If we are professionally asking anybody about anything in the airline, they would literally ask the person who is actually appearing to be a person who is professional in every way, even if in verbal language or the physical language or the body postures. So professionalism is the key. Professionalism is all shown in the groomings. And I really feel that grooming is a part of the professional word, and so is the professionalism part of grooming. Further, if I would like to talk about the grooming in the aviation, it is of basic sense that we do not need to be shabby in any kind of way. If we are updoing our hair, if we are updoing our uniform, it should be always pressed. It should always be neat and clean. No stains or anything else should be on the uniform. If we talk about our hair, it should be uptight, it should be neat and clean, it should be gelled well, because even the baby hair in girls and boys, they show up very, very shabby sometimes. And I've seen people in the light, especially the reflection of light becomes more vibrant to their baby hair, and it makes them look a bit more shabbier. It is not it is not bad to be shabby, but in a professional way, in a professional word, shabby is a word that needs not to be discussed. It literally means you are not professional. That's it. So further, I would like to mention that the men in this airline, they usually think that the cabin crew or the females are more presentable, so they are only the face of the airline. We need not be to be groomed. We need not be to be far more attentive towards our grooming standards. They are the airline's face. Everybody's attention is towards the female cabin crew, so we need to be relaxed. But it is not the way. Several times I have seen in my cabin while I'm working somewhere, I need to call a male person in front of the passenger, in front of a guest, in case he or she is not being cooperative. Because there is a certain volume in the way we perform, and in the way the men perform on board. So they need to take care of themselves. They need to take care of what they look like, what they appear, how they appear, in a more professional way. So several times I have been asked by my several colleagues that it is of no use, even if we are shabby, even if we do not apply our gel. Everybody is going to see you guys. It is always about the girls. It is a girl centric industry, but it is not the same thing. It is definitely far more a gender neutral society, a gender neutral industry nowadays. So both of us needs to be well groomed, very professional, and also act like that. It is for the better infrastructure, the structuring of the airline. It is for the better representation of the airline and being presentable for your own self as well. Some of the common misbeliefs in airlines are that we need to be very, very positive in all manners. For example, if somebody is misbehaving with us and we need to answer back, but we still need to be very, very positive so that he or she doesn't get hurt. But what about the things, the words which are being told to you, which actually affect your mental health? And that actually in turn affects your grooming as well. If you are not mentally fine, if you are not mentally stable, if a thing is there which is totally ruining your whole mood, your grooming will always be ruined. Because if we are not smiling all the way through, if we are frowned, if we are sad about anything, then it will not be a part of our professionalism. It will not be it will not be with us in a longer term. So I really feel that the positive gestures are up to a certain extent. If anybody is being rude, be assertive, be very very assertive about it. Like maybe the person is not feeling well, he or she has been fighting with somebody, he or she has been not doing well since a few days, so we need to be assertive. We do not need to shout in turn, but at least we need to be polite and calmly we need to tell that please, this is not the way to talk to me. We could be talking in a certain manner and not in a rude or unprofessional manner. If you are standing in certain area, in certain region of your airline, then definitely you need to take a stand for yourself and for the airline as well. So it is also a part of grooming, the verbal communication. Very very important thing. Verbal communication is a very important part. As being professionally there, I really feel that verbal communication is something that feels very, very minute, but is very, very, it changes everything. It changes the whole perspective. It changes the whole image. And be it any language, English, Hindi, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, any language. I've seen several passengers, several guests talking to me in their regional language, me not being able to understand them, but I am being able to understand them by their emotions, by what they are feeling, by what their body language says, what their gesture says. Verbal language says something and also many things about you. So it is not important to be very, very professional in just one language. It is usually important to be understanding what your language presents, what your verbs, your verbal gestures, your speech presents, and it is also a part of grooming. So it in turn essentially sums up to be the initial steps of a well-groomed person: the body language, the verbal communication, and the third and the most important thing is the uniformity. Um, if I talk about, if I literally talk about our schools, in our schools when we were there, the uniforms were similar almost of every school. The girls being in skirts, the boys being in pants or in shorts in the earlier days, and we were told to make two braids usually, or in certain pony styles, or the folded plaits, or everything else. And the boys were usually told not to just just shampoo their hair and come to the school. They had to oil their hair. They had to apply some gel, maybe in the later phases. But yes, usually the oiling thing was good. As per the Indian standards, as per the Indian mothers, oiling of hair is the best. So I would not decline that. But yes, it actually helps us. So in the very initial stages of our life, we are told that this is the certain way of getting dressed. So in our schools also, we are dressing up and we are being professional. And you might not know the difference, but the person who is seeing you from the outer side, outer world, he or she will definitely notice that this is actually a way of professionalism, and the image building starts from then and there. Um, Further, I would like to add that our desired actions are actions which are a part of our gestures, which are a part of our physical communication. If I talk about body gestures, if I talk about verbal communication, if I talk about image building, it is all concluded in our physical attribution, physical understanding, the appearance, and the actions what we are doing. The actions include everything. If we are being polite, that is our action. If we are being professional, that is our action. So actions are also a part of grooming. Grooming basically is all about the presentation, and presentation is usually regarded with the actions. So it is an interchangeable term. the actions of you performing well, performing verbally good, you are fluent in your language, and also you are able to understand the person's feelings, being empathetic towards anybody, being sympathetic towards anybody. So, being in somebody else's shoes, being empathetic, it is also a part of your grooming. If you are not that empathetic, but you look very well, you are not able to understand the other person's feelings, what he or she is willing to ask, or he or she wants from you, then you will not be able to count yourself as professional, as a professional in this world. So if all these things are included in you, they conclude in you, they the conclusion in yourself is being professional in every possible manner, be it in a verbal, a physical, or body gestures. It is always good to carry yourself in a way that you feel comfortable in. You feel that you are giving your 100% towards the other person or the other airline. Um, so summing up, I really feel that I've spoken a bit too much, maybe, but I really feel that my fellow mates, everybody else who is listening to me, I really feel that my experiences have been shared, and I am able to relate to you at some point of time. Once you will be joining the industry, and I'm just talking to the future representatives of the airlines. I'm the present one, you guys are the future ones. So I really feel that once you will be joining the industry, you will do very well. The grooming standards of every airline is different, and you need to set your own grooming standards as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So it was wonderful delight for discuss on grooming, body language, verbal communication, gestures, your positioning, and many more from Miss Divya Hasta. Thank you so much, ma'am. So
Thank
now,
you so much.
as I can see, there are some questions from our participants. Can I ask the questions, Divya Hasta, ma'am? Can I?
Definitely, ma'am.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Thanks for giving me chance to address your questions. Now let's start with the question number 1 from Megha. What are some challenges that aviation professionals may face in maintaining grooming standards, and how can they overcome them effectively?
So usually it depends on yourself. It depends on the body type. I have seen this several times that people tell me that certain thing or certain makeup thing or certain a thing you apply on your hair, that is not being suited to you. It is not being it is not being in place for a certain period of time. It is irritating you. It is affecting you in a wrong manner. So these are certain challenges which are being faced usually, because nowadays several cosmetics include the chemicals only, and I really feel that chemicals should be reduced, but also they should be able to blend into your body type. So these are the basic challenges. But otherwise, I don't think any challenges in a manner that nobody wants to be groomed. There is nothing like that. Everybody wants to be groomed, but the only challenges they usually feel is today's pollution, today's chemical based cosmetics. I really feel that the chemical based cosmetics should be reduced by the airlines, and certain airlines are changing their grooming standards towards that also. So these are the basic challenges. Otherwise, else I don't feel any challenges.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. So now I would request to Mr. Pankaj Vij to be on the screen. Over to you, sir. Welcome, Mr. Pankaj Vij.
Right. Thank you very much, ma'am. And well, it was a eye opener for us, though we are not from the same industry, but listening to the industry professional and that too, a student of our own university, being the flag bearer of the university in the airline sector and the hospitality sector, is really heartening to watch. And all the future aspirants who want to join the hospitality sector. Well, this is a live example. Miss Divya is the live example, and the kind of grooming that she has received from the university and the kind of professional we have turned her into, and obviously her own hard work has paid. And it's laudable. It's really applaudable that our students are making to the top industries in the world, in India, of course, and they are doing great things, and they are bringing laurels to the university. It's great to watch Ms. Divya, and I would like to congratulate Dr. Parminder for creating such professionals from the university. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you, Ms. Divya. Over to another topic. We'll just change this topic a little bit, though it'll be relevant. What to expect when a student comes to the university? Well, obviously, academics is one of those things that you can expect, or you would come for academics. But what are the other things apart from academics that a student can expect to have in the university? I'll just do a small curtain raiser of that particular thing. Dalvinder ma'am, I guess my screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir. It's visible. You can
Great.
continue.
Great, right. So the first thing first, any student coming to any university or any college or any university that you intend to join, the first thing that is of prime importance is the accreditations and the approvals. So the kind of accreditations and approvals that we have got are as follows. We are a NAC A++ accredited university with a score of 3.68 on a scale of 4 points. And we have the highest score in the first cycle of accreditation amongst all government and private universities. So that's something that's a big achievement for the university. That's LPU. We have got approvals from the likes of Accreditation Council for Business Schools, which is for the management programs, institute, the ICAR, which is for the agriculture program. Then we have got approvals from the UGC, even for the distance education, National Council for Teacher Education, for the B.Ed or the education programs, Pharmacy Council of India, Council of Architecture, and the things go on and on and on. And all these things are, or all these approvals and accreditations, the proofs of them are present on our website. We are a member of the prestigious Association of the Indian University. We are a member of some other international membership organizations as well. So these are the kind of approvals and accreditations and the memberships that we have got all present on our website as well. Moving on, placements. Once again, placements are of prime importance, and placements, these are our flag bearers who have brought laurels to the university by bagging salary packages as high as 3 crores or maybe 64 lakhs, and working with the industry giants all over the world. More than 2,000 students as of now are working pan-world, across the world, in the industries of repute. One of them is with us in this panel. Moving on, this is the 1 crore club that we have got in terms of placements. Extracurricular activities, it is said that all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. Well, that's a very old saying, but it's a very, very effective one. So what you can expect when you talk about the extracurricular activities. Quite recently, in the recently concluded Khelo India University Games, we were the runner-ups. We had the 2nd position in India. Bajrang Punia, Neeraj Chopra, they are our own students. So we are not only creating academicians or researchers, we are also creating sports people and the cultural people of repute across the country. Well, the year was 2019 when we hosted the Indian Science Congress, the 106th edition of the Indian Science Congress at LPU, and it was inaugurated by none other than the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. We had His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, coming to the university a few years ago, and he gave away degrees. He gave away degrees in one of the convocation ceremonies. 2 former presidents of India and Afghanistan sharing the same stage and giving away degrees to the students in yet another convocation ceremony. Then we had the former late Finance Minister of India, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, who came to the university a few years ago, and he inaugurated a startup school. So this is the kind of exposure that we believe in giving to our students. And that's not all. Former Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, was here in 2018 in yet another convocation ceremony. We have intellects like Gohar Gopal Das coming to the campus and giving away live sermons to the students, to the teachers, to the parents, and sharing their spiritual and other views. Yes, these people also throng the campus, but not only to sing and dance, but to share their life experience with the youngsters, the young students, the young minds, because they have a lot of influence on our on the young generation, but sharing their experience creates a lot of impact on the students. Talking about infrastructure, well, infrastructure is yet another vertical of good education. And let me show you briefly some of the infrastructure marvels of the university. These are 14 blocks joined back to back, and it houses the central library of the university and some other blocks, some other departments. Then we have the auditorium. It's an auditorium having a capacity of 2,500 people in a single go. These are kind of labs that we have got. What you're seeing right now is a computer lab, and we have got a whole lot of them. Similarly, there are other labs that we have got in the university. This is the library, is the central library of the university, and each department has its own library. And not to forget to mention that all the libraries are automated. It's a 600-acre campus that we have got on National Highway number 44. And this is at the heart of the campus. We have got a mall, and this mall is housing a lot of facilities. Let's get inside the mall and take a sneak peek. This is the interior of the mall, and some Providence stores where people can, students can purchase their stuff. It houses gymnasiums, fully equipped gymnasiums with trainers of international repute. Some recreational facilities like bowling alleys. God forbid any student falls ill, but if a student falls ill, we are ready with a hospital within the campus. It's a 25-bedder hospital that we have got with resident doctors, medical staff, and even a dental chair to the disposal of the students. Every week, twice, a dentist visits the university. Well, we generate our own electricity, and we have got solar power panels installed. That's a panoramic view of the university. We are a very lush green university. A few years back, we were awarded as one of the cleanest campuses in India. We were 8th in India in terms of cleanliness. That's night vision of the university. This is the sporting infrastructure of the university. We have got all-weather Olympic-sized swimming pools. We have got shooting ranges. You name a court, you get it. Badminton, basketball, volleyball. You even have a squash court at your disposal. So this is the aerial view of the university, of the infrastructure of the sporting facility in the university, rather. We have a mammoth residential facility, the mammoth hostel facility that we have got. More than 25,000 students can put up in the hostel facility, boys and girls. Whatever hostels we have got is within the 600-acre campus, but the boys and girls hostels are absolutely separate out. But a lot of students can be housed within the university, and they do put up in the university. The last thing that I want to talk about is a very exciting thing, and hotel management and the hospitality courses are also falling in this gambit, and that is called as a study grant. Now, it's very interesting. Let's say that there's a student who wants to pursue his graduation in, say, hotel management from IHM. The person says, I want to go, I want to pursue my, graduation from IHM. And all we want that the student writes is LP-NEST exam. LP-NEST is Lovely Professional University National Entrance and Scholarship Test. The student writes this exam, which is our national level exam, appears for this exam, does really well in it, is amongst the top 100 students of this LP-NEST hotel management exam, which is our exam. And in the meanwhile, the student also bags a good position in the NCHM exam and gets a seat in any of the 20 IHMs in India. So now the student can go to the IHM, study over there, but LPU gives him or her a study grant of 1 lakh rupees to study in that IHM. So a student is not studying with us. The student goes to an IHM, studies over there, but LPU pays that student 1 lakh rupees as a study grant. So we have already done quite a few editions of this study grant, and we have distributed almost 6 crore worth of rupees to the students as a means of study grant. So this is the kind of financial grant that we give to the student, even though the student is not studying with us, but there are mammoth scholarship schemes that we are offering to the students. So that's about the study grant. And I would like to tell the viewers who are watching this broadcast, the students, the parents, and everybody who's watching this broadcast, that you can get to know about the various programs that we are offering at LPU. For that, I will take you live to our website, and I'll just give you a very small demo to that particular thing. Right. I hope my screen is visible. The website is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Right, great. So this is the website. This is the official website of LPU. That's lpu.in. When you go to the home page, you just have to go to the admissions, and say a person wants to know something the hospitality and the hotel management programs after 12th. So you go to admissions, you go to after 12th, and then you go to the regular program. So admissions, after 12th, regular programs, and I click it over here. Once I click it over here, it takes me to the next page. I go to the next page, and it shows me an array of disciplines that we are offering at LPU. So from amongst those disciplines, you can select the discipline of your choice. Say, for example, I want to go in for hotel management and tourism programs. So I just click it over here, and it takes me to the next page, which shows me all the array of programs that we are offering at LPU in terms of hotel management and tourism. Let's say I want to know something about, say, maybe a BSc Airlines Tourism and Hospitality Management program. So I click it over here, and it takes me to the next page, which gives me the details of the BSc Airlines Tourism Hospitality program. I just scroll down, and this is the eligibility of the program. Pass with a 50% marks aggregate in 12th. You should have studied English in 12th. Or equivalent, subject to qualifying LPU Nest, means you have to qualify the LPU Nest exam, or you should have qualified the national level exam, which is CUET. So that's the eligibility. So you can get to know the eligibility. You want to know the fee structure, you go to the top slider, you just click the fee part, and you are taken to the fee structure. Say, for example, the fee of the program is 80,000 rupees per semester, but there are a lot of scholarships that are being offered. Somebody has a 80 to 89% marks in 12th, or somebody is in cutoff 3 of our LP Nest exam, there's a 40% scholarship. If somebody has 90 to 94% marks, 94.99% marks in 12th, or a student has a category 2, a cutoff 2 in LP Nest, once again, 45% scholarship. Or else, if somebody has 95 or above percentage of marks in 12th, or somebody is in cutoff 1 of our LP Nest, it's one and the same thing, a 50% scholarship. It's worth mentioning over here that these kind of scholarships, if a student gets, remain the same way throughout the program. So means once a scholarship is awarded to the student, these kind of scholarships, then they continue for the entire area of the entire time of the program, entire span of the program. So once a scholarship is awarded to the student, that continues for the entire course of the program. What are the other scholarships that are being offered? You can just go to the next section, which is scholarships, and you can just click it over here and get to know what are the other scholarships. We have scholarships on the basis of 12th marks, that's done. We have scholarships on the basis of LPU Nest. We have scholarships on the basis of national level tests such as NCHM. We have got some other scholarships like scholarships. Somebody has started an entrepreneurship program. Somebody has done somebody has done really good in extracurricular activities. These people also get scholarships. Somebody is a board topper. These people also get scholarships from us. There are students who are maybe from a humble economic background, so they get need-based scholarships from us. Somebody's from a defense background, they also get scholarships. God forbid somebody's an orphan or a disabled child, such students are also facilitated scholarships from us. So we at LPU firmly believe in providing quality education at affordable prices. So that's something about the programs that we are offering, and how can you check it out, that what are the different programs that are being offered. If the students want to call us and they want to talk to our experienced counselors, they can just note down these numbers, or maybe take a screenshot of these numbers. And these are our admission helplines. And you can also get your career counseling done from here. So you can always write to us on our email ID, which is admissions@lpu.co.in. So your queries would be answered either in a written format or maybe in a verbal format if you call us. I guess that's all from my side. I hope the information shared by me would be of use to the students. Over to you, Dalvinder ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pankaj sir. Thank you so much. As I can see, there is some more questions from our participants. This question is for Mr. Pankaj sir. My ward is confused, but the question is, my ward is confused between going for a PG nearby and university hostel. Please help in making a choice in this.
Well, that's a very good question. It's a very pertinent question. I would highly recommend, though I would say that university never forces you to go in for a residential facility, that we force you that you have to take the hostel within the campus, but it is always a smart move. It's always advisable, and I absolutely would like to request all the parents who are watching this particular broadcast that at least a student coming from another state, maybe some student coming from Gujarat or maybe Andhra Pradesh or any other place, any place outside, the student is new to Punjab. The person does not know much about the localities and things like that. So it's always advisable. It's 100% suggested that a student should stay within the campus because the student is secure. 100% security is ensured because it's a very it's a secure campus. We have got guards who are manning the entire campus day in, day out. So the parents are not worried as to how the what is the student doing or what is the condition of the student, because the student, till the time he or she is in the campus, is our responsibility. So I would really like to appeal all the parents, especially who are watching this broadcast, that if they are admitting their ward to any program in LPU, they should go in for the hostel facility. It's the mess facility is really good. It's a healthy and hygienic food. Maybe not as tasty as back home, but yes, it is a health perspective, hygiene perspective is absolutely taken care of by us. So it's 101% advisable to admit your ward to the university and occupy the hostel facility within the campus. It's absolutely safe, secure, and your student, your ward would be absolutely safe and would be in safe hands.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope the participants got their answers. Thank you so much, sir. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to our esteemed experts for sharing their valuable insight and expertise with us. Your contribution have truly enriched our discussion and inspired us all. On the behalf of all attendees of this webinar, I would like to thank all for your insightful participation. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding their admissions. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, and can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again, with the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.